Bagfuel, baby.
But getting back on track. So Corey Rooney and Mark Morales, Father MC, Puffy, who else? It was Father MC, somewhat Jodeci, Corey Rooney, Mark Morales, and who else? And Mary J. Blige. That was a whole setting that went out to Queens, right?
That's crazy.
And they were working on the record.
Puffy, Corey, Mary, Mark, Father MC.
Was all going out to Queens. And the funny shit was, because Puffy was my intern, and I was so busy running around doing whatever crazy shit I was doing. I was like, yo, Puff, I only went out there one time. I was like, yo, Puff, go do your thing, nigga. Yeah, good job, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he was out there moving shit.
He was
running.
working his ass off,
Yeah,
right?
he was doing what he had to do. And he came out with a really good album with Father and Senior went gold. Let me tell you something. When Mary first came up and signed, she was kind of sitting there for a year. Some of it was our fault, and some of it was the label's fault. But it wasn't like automatic Hall of Fame Mary J. Blige. Now, I'm not taking anything away from her. It was actually the management company, the label, that was dragging their feet because they didn't know what to, well, actually, we didn't know what to do with Mary.
They didn't think she had the look, right? Was that
It wasn't
the problem?
The look. Okay, the problem was the music industry was making a transition from R&B where chicks was wearing dresses, like sequins dresses and heels and, you know, looking all pretty and cute. But then started to come hip hop. There was a song called Don't Make Me Over that had a hip hop beat. But the woman that was singing it, which I can't remember her name.
Williams is her last name.
She didn't, I forget, but she didn't fit the image. So when Mary came out, Puff said, you know what? Let her be what she is. She's a girl from the hood. Let's make it that. Matter of fact, her original name was Mary J. Blige, the Queen of the Ghetto. Mary's mother called and said, I'll kill all you niggas if you call my daughter
the Queen
of the Ghetto. Yo, don't call her the Queen of the Ghetto. Right? I was like, okay, Miss Blige. She was from Yonkers, like Slowbound. I was like, yo, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to come up there. I don't know if you ever been in Slowbound Yonkers, but anyway, I was like, yo, okay, we're going to X that out. So she's just Mary
What's it like over there, Ghost? Because Ghost from... Okay.
Now, what happened with Mary was, basically, Mary J. Blige was discovered by Jeff Redd. Jeff Redd was actually the first artist that was signed to my management company. We'll get into that in a minute. Because I was still at Uptown, had a management company. It was a conflict of interest, but I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, you got away with it.
I actually didn't get away with it.
Oh,
and I'm going to explain why it was a conflict of interest, but why I did it.
You can't do that.
But what happened was, when Mary came through Jeff, they worked at some plant up in White Plains or some shit up in Westchester. I think it was a GM plant. So Mary's father told Jeff, I got this, my daughter could sing. So I said, okay, cool. They told a friend of mine, partner Reggie, and Charlie Davis continued to be my partner, for a few years. But not about 5 or 6 years. So we went up to Slowbound Projects, and there's a whole crazy story about that too, I'll get to. But we went up there, and this girl comes out. She's got a ponytail. She starts singing like a church lady. Like, incredible. I was like, yo, we got to work with her. Now, I'm going to tell you something that happened, and Mary and I don't speak about this. I mean, we don't speak because of this, but I'm going to tell you the real story. We went to Slowbound, and we couldn't get in through the front. The front was locked, right? We went through the back. Now, if you know anything about Yonkers, you have one side of Yonkers that's super well taken care of, and one side that's bad. Back then, it was horrible. So they didn't collect the garbage. So it took us a long time just to maneuver through the garbage. The elevator didn't work. We had to go up the steps. When we got to Mary's apartment, it was immaculate. Her apartment was immaculate, like clean. You guys want water? Immaculate. What happened was we were interviewed by Ebony Magazine about close to 10 years ago. And I don't do a lot of interviews. So they interviewed me, and I got a friend of mine called me and says, Kurt, man, why you dog Mary like that? I said, what are you talking about? They put the shit like we couldn't get through the front door. It took us 20 minutes to get through the garbage in the back. I said, they didn't say anything about when we got to the apartment. She sang well. They were very hospitable. Her apartment was clean. No, nigga, they didn't say that. Why you dog Mary like that? And
That's
then
how they
somebody
do.
called me a couple of days, yo, Mary's pissed. That nigga Kurt is always mad. What? And I want to tell her so bad, yo, that's not what happened. And secondly, your environment doesn't dictate who you are. You was in that environment because you grew up there. It's not because of who you are. You moved on and did great shit and you're big. But I'll never forget that. A friend of mine called me and said, yo, dude, you look crazy because you just talking bad shit. I said, no, I didn't say. That's like 30% of the interview. I said how well she sang. I said, nigga, they took all that out.
That's how they cut it because the controversy is what makes it move, and that's what we pride ourselves that we don't really like. We don't rock with the controversy and nothing like that, and that's why I think the dude recommended that you come and be on the show with us and
to get a lot of
shit
shit out there. But that's one thing I wanted to get out in the air.
But what about Mary though? Before you go on, because you got so much that we got to get from you. Pause. What separates Mary from everybody else?
Mary had a rough life when she was young. You know, she had it pretty tough. I think Mary knew this is my calling. This is something I have to go from beginning to end. I gotta be, we used to go pick Mary up, boom, right outside waiting, quiet. Go in the studio, boom, quiet. Mary, sing this. Knock it out. And we had this vocal coach. His name was Kevin Ryan. We used to go out like 150-something Jamaica Queens. It was like, you know all the used car dealers used to be back in the day? And, Jamaica Queens off of the
Avenue, off Jamaica Avenue.
Yeah, off the Jamaica Avenue, but it's a
more
little
on
further down.
Parsons side. Yeah, it's more on Parsons side.
They used to live right there. And this guy was so dope with Mary. Like, that's it, Mary, you got it. Oh, girl, that was... And he was the best vocal coach, vocal director ever. He was very instrumental in getting Mary from A to Z because she was very shy and laid back, but he kind of got her out of her shell. But Mary was ridiculously on point. I think in her heart, she was like, yo, there's something here that's me. There's something here that people can't take. This is my chance. Out of all the stuff she'd been through, all the shit that she's seen, I really felt that she felt like this is my chance. Like this is what God has given me. This is my path. And that was really it. I mean, she was a really good singer. She had a good look. You know, she wasn't a beauty queen, but she was pretty and she had an appealing look and she was approachable. But she never beefed. You don't know what she was doing. A lot of that stuff might have came a little later, but she was always on point. Not beefing, not complaining. I remember one time we did a show, and it was for Urban Network, and there was a note. And I was like, I don't know if she's gonna hit the note. I don't know if she can. Mary, you think you can hit the note? Says Kurt, I can hit the note. So we get upstairs, up on stage. There's like 2,000 or 3,000 people up there, all record execs. West Coast, East Coast, South. Every radio station was represented. And we had a little bit of a time with the record. Mary jumped up on stage with a baseball hat, a Tim's and all, and the girls jumped up there, they had their baseball hats, they was dancing and moving and stuff. And then when she started singing, I knew, yo, they're gonna love her. Because the radio people figured that this is what my constituents want. This is what my customers, this is what my listeners want. Somebody that looks and represents them. And then when it came in that note, I was like, yo, she knocked it out. She always came to the table. So just to answer your question, I just think, first of all, she was very easy to work with. In the beginning, she was incredible. Like,
she seemed hungry as hell too.
But not that type of way, like just on point, show up on time, get to the studio. Like, I don't want to do that. She just did it. You know what I'm saying? Number two, I just think that she felt this was her destiny.
Destiny.
But, you know,